Update on Tropical Storm Nadine and the active weather in the United States. We have Nadine over here in the Atlantic. This is a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm. Pressure's coming up slightly. It's not encountering any much wind shear, but the sea surface temperatures are pretty marginal. So we've got the Azores up here, just to the northeast. This thing's kind of going to dance around the Azores. It's going to kind of bend towards the north, towards the weekend, and kind of skim the southern Azores. And then it's going to kind of come and move this direction towards the southwest. And this thing could do loops for a while, as there's no steering currents out here. There's no troughs, there's a few ridges, but there's really nothing to move this thing along. The jet stream's way up to the north. So this system's kind of going to be with us for a while. In the Azores, you might want to keep an eye on it. It's not a hurricane though, so it's not too bad, but still, it's something to keep an eye on, those 60-mile-per-hour winds. Now, the United States weather. We're going to start the west coast. You can see not much happening out west here. And before we go to the surface overlay, let's take a look at the water vapor loop. The water vapor loop. Look at all this dry air in the western United States. There's no moist air going on at all. But if we take a look in the east, here's where all the moist air is. You see the whites and the greens here. This is where all the moisture is. But you can see one thing here dropping down into the Midwest. A lot of dry air. And this dry air is going to be making it to the east coast. And once it does so, that means dry weather will prevail across much of the lower 48 of the states. Now let's take a look at the surface overlay with before we do that, let's take a look at watches and warnings. Watches, the watch boxes. Of course, there's some tornado watch boxes and severe thunderstorm watch boxes along the East Coast. There's not a whole lot of severe reports going on. Most of them are non-thunderstorm related wind gusts because this storm system has a lot of wind with it. There's a jet stream right over the mid-Atlantic states that's 60-knot winds. Some of those winds are being brought to the surface. But for the most part, things are fairly benign. Like I said, out west here, things are pretty calm. So the eastern United States here, we have Gulf moisture coming in through Florida, and we've got some two cold fronts here. But like I said, it's not as bad as the models were making this out to be yesterday and the day before. So we really got let off the hook in many areas. Now, like I said, there are a lot of storm reports. There's some severe thunderstorm warnings going on. And some non-thunderstorm wind gusts, but it's not a widespread. It's not a super outbreak. So that is good. That is the good news. This system should continue to move offshore tonight and build in for a very nice day, except Florida here, where we're still caught in a lot of the moisture tomorrow along Central and South Florida. I'm meteorologist from meteomark.com, Mark Molnar, and check out our Facebook page to the right, or subscribe in the link above.